For those of you that follow me on Instagram, you'll see that I've been stuck on 326,000 followers for pretty much the last 8 months now. And it doesn't bother me one single bit, and I'll tell you why. I used to think that making more money online meant getting more views and going viral. Now, for the last 8 months, I've concentrated on the complete opposite, getting less views, and it's made me 3 times more money. Now, if I go into one of my affiliate platforms here where I get paid and just show you the difference in black and white. So I'm going to go to June of last year where I was focusing just on viral content, and you can see the amount. Just under $9,000. Then if I change the date to go to December just gone by, and we go from 1st to 31st, refresh it, just under $38,000. Big difference. And both of those amounts that you just saw are pretty much 90% profit, because I'm pretty much a one-person business. I don't have a team to pay for. Yes, I do have some sort of overheads like this place that I've rented specifically to film content. I do have software costs, and of course I've got the cost that I paid for this equipment that I'm using to film this content. But to make those kind of numbers, I probably work maybe 4 or 5 hours a day, if that. So what changed? Why the big difference in those numbers? Because before I was concentrating on building an audience of viewers and not buyers. Now in this video, I'm going to give you the exact framework that you need to build your own audience of buyers and make tens of thousands of dollars, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars, and keep 90% of it. Okay, first of all, is it bad for your business to go viral? Absolutely not. But it is not what we should be focusing on totally. For example, I used to, for years, just focus on going viral as possible. So I was in the side hustle niche, the make money online niche. I am still to a degree, and you'll see some content like that from time to time because obviously a lot of my audience are interested in that. But I was posting religiously how to make $100 a day or how to get $350 from affiliate marketing, because honestly, they were easy to make and they were pretty much guaranteed to go viral. And it's exactly what helped me grow to 326,000 followers on Instagram, 436,000 on Facebook, 80,000 on TikTok before my first account got taken down, and tens of thousands on my email list. But I realized very quickly that I was building an audience of freebie seekers, an audience of tire kickers, people that were mostly in a desperate spot, which is fine. I wanted to help them out and I still do, but they weren't in a position to invest in a business. They didn't have that disposable income. I was basically in the practice of filling the top of my funnel with leads and potential customers that just didn't have a budget. Now, what I started doing was strategizing my content production and posting, and realizing that certain types of content sits in certain types of buckets and achieve certain types of things for my business and therefore yours as well. So let's take a different niche from the side hustle make money online content that I was doing before to illustrate this example. So we'll take real estate for this, and the different type of real estate content that you could do could be, let's say, number one, open house content. You've all seen this before, where the cameraman's following someone along around the house and you're being seen showing the house. Mortgage conversations, return on investments, rent. Number 3 could be architects. I'm not even going to try and spell architects. Surveyors. I love it when it just deletes randomly. That's so much fun. Surveyors. Number 4, a guide to the neighborhood close to the house that they're featured recently. Neighborhood guide. And then we still need to do this because it's very important, viral content. So we've got to see this whole thing as an ecosystem. And that viral content that we still need to do is very important because that gets people into the ecosystem. Whereas when they are eventually in the system, 1 through 4 type of content converts people. So this is still super imperative. And I would say 20% of all the content that you'd be posting would be viral, as long as the 80% that's sitting behind it does the conversion and the hard work for you and helps people go from complete strangers to paying customers and realizing you're the best person in this space to do business with. Now, once we start utilizing this strategy, understanding what we should be posting every single day becomes much easier. So we can say Monday will be the open house content, Tuesday can be the mortgage conversation, Wednesday the architect surveyor, Thursday can be the neighborhood guide, and Friday can be the viral content. And so every single Friday we know that we need to be finding a piece of content that we can model that's already gone viral for someone else that's blowing up, take inspiration from it, and get our own piece of content posted on that Friday. Now, for each one of these days and each one of these types of content, we still want a lead magnet off the back of each one of them so that it still achieving our business goals. Now, an example of a lead magnet for this specific niche could be go and click the link in my bio, although I don't particularly like that too much, or comment something down below and I'll send you my 5-step guide to buying a new house in X area. But the point is, with that conversion-based content, we need to give people a lead magnet so that they move through the funnel to the point of conversion. Your viral content invariably needs a call to action at the end of it. Now, it's not the biggest deal if you don't have a call to action, because the fact that it's gone viral, you'll still get some sort of followers. And even if you don't get followers, you'll get people that are enjoying it because it's going viral for a reason, which means that from the algorithm's point of view, people are watching 80 to 100% of that video. Then it means that when Monday comes around, and I know I've taken out the weekend here and said that we're not posting there, but I'm trying to make this as easy as possible for this demonstration. But when we get to Monday and we're posting another type of content, the algorithm's more than likely to put that out to a wider audience because they've seen your Friday previous piece of content that people really enjoyed, and therefore your conversion content that you post on Monday is going to get even better results. So we're still benefiting our business, moving our business goals forward whilst giving people value that they want. Okay, so now we've understood the strategy behind actually posting content so that we're posting to an audience of buyers and not just viewers. How do we actually make sales once that content's in place? So whenever someone comes to me in my community and they say, look, I'm posting what I think I should be posting, but I'm not making any sales whatsoever, there's no increase in the amount of money that I'm seeing in my bank account, I always say to them two things. Number one, how many new followers have you got in the last 90 days? And how many new email addresses have you got onto your list in the last 90 days? And then once I get that answer from them, we can then go back to the 4 C's that I always talk about in my content, which is content, capture, convert, capitalize. I think that's how you spell capitalize. So using the 4 C's principle, it really helps us identify where the bottleneck is in your business and why you're not making sales. Now, too many creators that I see, they focus too much on here, e.g. creating the content that goes viral as possible, gets out to the widest audience possible. And that's just in boosting your ego. It's for the vanity metrics. They don't concentrate enough on the capture aspect of the 4 C's. And I fell into the exact same trap. I was focusing for a vast majority of my career online on getting as many views as possible because I realized that if I get as much people into the top of funnel as possible, there's going to be a small percentage that will eventually convert on whatever it is that I'm offering. But as you saw at the beginning of this video, the difference in the numbers is vast when we start concentrating on the buyers. And a big reason for why I wasn't making as much money as I am now is because I wasn't capturing my audience's data. Now, a rule of thumb with this is that you want to be capturing about 20% of your total audience size onto your email list. So if you've got 100 followers, you want 20 people on your email list. 1,000 followers, you want 200 people on your email list. And that's a big reason why you're probably not selling anything or you're finding yourself in that situation. People are stuck here at the content level, just consuming your content, and they've got no way to move down the funnel for them to get onto your email list, for you to capture their data, and then you can start selling to them on email. Now, if you want to understand how it would look when you capture that data and what it needs to look like, actually, there's 2 links in the description down below. One says work with me, one says free community. You can click on either or both, because then you'll see how my capture page looks like. It's also referred to as an opt-in page. And on there, the free community pretty much does what it says on the tin, and work with me, you'll see more details about my program. And then you can click on the button there, first name, email address. You can put them in if you want, put your own details in, because then you'll see what's on the other side that you'll get redirected to. But also, most importantly, you'll see the emails that I send out to you based on which one of those you opted in for. And when you see those emails, and of course, when you see that opt-in page, you can take inspiration from it so that you can very quickly go out and build your own lead magnet, because that's what those 2 links are. They're lead magnets, which you'll need. So then you can carry on concentrating on posting your good content and then be capturing the data because you took inspiration from what I've got below in the description. So the first issue is always getting traction with your content. You do need the views to happen. Otherwise, we can't get people to start moving through the funnel. But if you are getting the views, but you're not capturing their data, then it's very, very difficult to position an offer to anyone, because without that data, we can't sell on email, which we realize is the place that we do need to be selling. So then what I see a lot of people doing is that they create videos where they sell on those videos. So an example of this is, hey guys, I've got a brand new course that's just about to release. It's all about XYZ. I think it will really help you and it's got tons of value in there and will move forward your business. If you want to get on the wait list or you want to see the actual sales page so that you can purchase, the link is in the bio. The vast majority of people will not care about that, because think about the videos. What we want wanting to do is get out to a cold audience. And if the cold audience is seeing that, they've got no connection with you, they don't know who you are, you're a stranger, they're just going to swipe away. And then what does that say to the algorithm? That says to the algorithm, that person didn't enjoy it, or a vast majority of people did not enjoy it. So then your future videos are shown to less people because of the previous one that didn't perform so well, because you were trying to sell to a cold audience that didn't care. So we only want to sell to people on email. I've said this a couple of times in previous content. I'm going to keep on saying it so you guys know the best way. It has to happen on email. But when we have the email conversation, there's so many people that make mistakes there as well. But before we get into the email conversation and realizing that we need to sell on email, then a question that I get a lot from people is, well, how much should I be selling for? What should I price my product or services at? So let me show you something here on the iPad. So let's say this is your diary. So we've got Monday, Friday, all the way through till Sunday, or a little bit less. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, one day less across the top. And then we've got all the times during those days and the week that you're available to deliver on what someone's purchased or the services and help people move forward. So to fill up your time as quickly as possible, whatever it is that we're selling, we want to sell for as cheap as possible. So we get those slots filled quickly. So we keep doing marketing and marketing and marketing until those slots at that cheap price are filled up. And when I say doing marketing, I mean just posting content that gets views, strategizing with content buckets, and we will soon enough fill up all those slots. At that point, we want to increase our pricing. I would say probably by 10%. That's normally a good amount to go for. Now, at that point, when we've increased our prices a little bit, we get a few of these people, when it comes to renewal time, canceling, which is totally fine. It's actually a good thing for us in terms of efficiency because, okay, yes, those people have now canceled, they've left, but it's freed up some time in our diary to be able to work with other people at an increased price. So it basically means that we're working the same amount of time that we were before, or even less until we fill up those spots for more money. Then again, the same process. We do marketing, we do more content, we capture more email addresses, and eventually those slots will also get filled up at the increased price. And then the same thing, we increase the pricing once more, 10%, and then some people will cancel, some slots will become available, then we do the same process. And when people come to us and we're at the full point, then we can start utilizing a wait list, which is really beneficial for your business. It works like gangbusters because when someone comes to you and says, okay, I really love what you do, I really love your products, I really love your services, I want to start taking advantage of them, where do I buy? Sorry, I'm full, but here's the link to the waitlist, get yourself on there and I'll let you know that when we've got some slots available. That drives people crazy because they really want what you've got, they know that you're the right person that they should be working with, but they can't. Big brands do this all the time. Think of the likes of Rolex. You cannot buy a Rolex if you walk into one of their stores, it's just not possible. You can view them in the cases, but they will say, oh, it's not available. We can put you on a wait list and we can let you know when it is available in like 2 years' time. It's wild. And it makes people want Rolexes even more. And then think about Ferrari. To get an SF90 or an SF90 XX, not only have you got to have bought many Ferraris for millions of dollars previously to even be eligible to buy that particular Ferrari, but even then you'd be put on a wait list for a couple of years. It makes it more desirable. It makes people want it more. All right, cool. So now that we've understood what our pricing needs to look like and we've got people's emails, how do we actually sell to people on those emails? Now, tons of people will immediately jump to the likes of sales calls. Now, I've done probably about 2 sales calls in my entire life, so maybe don't continue listening to me, but I absolutely hate them because people like myself, business owners, we don't really want to be doing a sales call. If we're honest, it's an hour out of our day that may or may not result in revenue for our business. The person that's booked the sales call doesn't really want to be on the sales call either because they know that they're going to get sold to. You as a business owner don't want to hard sell someone on anything. And again, the person on the other end of the phone doesn't want to be hard sold to either. So I think it's just a horrible, awkward, weird situation that I'm just not interested in selling any of my services via. And another issue with the whole sales call model is the empty diary effect. So when someone gets to the point in your funnel where they can book a sales call with you and they see pretty much an empty diary, then that's going to signal to them that you're not particularly popular. And so therefore, why would they be interested? And they leave. Conversely, if you've got a super full diary and they can't book anywhere that's convenient for them, they're going to leave, get into someone else's funnel and buy their product. And another thing that you'll see all the time is that you get through to someone's sales page that has a sales call at the end of it, they give you all the details that incentivizes you to book that sales call with their team, but they'll omit one very important piece of information: the price. That's withheld from you until you get on the call with that professional sales guy, or maybe even the business owner. I don't think that's the best way of doing things. I'd much rather put my price front and center that people can see without having to get on a call, because that's very naturally going to filter out the people that can afford my services and my community and my help versus the people that can't. The only people that will buy will be the ones that have the disposable income that can afford it. Now, I get why people hold the price back until they're on the sales call, because it's a large amount of money and they want to be able to control the reaction to that sticker shock, convince them of the value, overturn objections, and get them closed down. But again, I'd rather have that price very obvious, not hidden anywhere, and I'll only get the people on board that can afford it. And lastly, I think to myself, if you have to get someone on a call for a whole hour to convince whatever you have is good, it's probably not that good. I send most of my traffic to a webinar that I've previously recorded, and an evergreen version of that is sitting on a page. Yes, people have to watch it in its entirety to get to the point where I actually give the price and the button appears below the webinar where they can see the price. But I need to take people on a journey from being completely cold, not understanding, invariably most of the time, not understanding anything about the online world and how to make money from it, to get them to the point to understand how I've got to that price point and the value behind it. Because my community, my help, my one-to-one help, and my time is not cheap. I still think actually the price that I'm selling at is way too cheap, but that's another thing. But when I mention the price, a button appears, they can click on that, they go through to a payment select page, and they can decide which one. Do they like the split payment, or do they like the full payment? What one's right for them, but it's very clear there, no sales calls whatsoever. Let me show you how this works in practice. So right now, you're at the first C. You're watching a piece of my content. Those of you that want to watch that webinar that I just mentioned and understand my business model in more detail, you'll go and click on that link down below that says work with me. Then you can put in your first name and your email address to get access to that webinar. And then you'll start hearing from me on email on a near daily basis about this opportunity, how this business model works, more videos, more content, more value to see if this is right for you. Then after that, I'll start trying to convert you. I'll be like, look, you've seen all of the value, you've seen all the videos. Here's the button that you need to click. If this is right for you, let's get you converted. Let's get you in the community. Or indeed, I can bypass all of that and just give you a direct link to come and join right now. So as you can see, what I'm doing here is practicing what I preach. For you guys to understand and see how it actually looks like in practice, changing an audience from viewers into buyers, what I just did there with you is exactly what you should be doing. You just got all of this information for free, this breakdown in this YouTube video. Imagine what you'll get when you pay me. So that's all you need to do to make a tangible, real world, move the needle difference in your business and start getting buyers instead of vanity metrics like views and followers. Now, to see an example of a viral bucket piece of content that I've previously posted on this channel, go and click on this video that's just appeared here on the screen. That's where you'll be able to see exactly how the content that appeals to the widest audience possible needs to look, so that I am filling the top of the funnel, but at the end, I convert people into buyers with very key call to actions. Plus, you'll get an added benefit of understanding a great business model that you could use if you're starting from scratch. So go click there now, and I'll catch you over there in just a second. Have a good one.